What's up and welcome back to Are We Clear Yet? And in this episode, we talk about pretty versus pretty energy. What does that even mean? You'll see. Check it out. What's up, good people, and welcome to Are We Clear Yet? We're seeking clarity through dialogue is how we move. I'm your boy Dino, and I got my dogs in the building, Dub and Al. Al, how we feeling today, man?
Feeling good, man. Esteem is a beautiful thing. Feeling really good. And God is in control.
Always. Dub, how we feeling today?
Oh, feeling very good. Feeling very good. Got a little shindig going on later on today that I'm very excited about. Good people, good food, good vibe, good energy. You know, doing good.
I'm just glad you're not feeling gray. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. I could be feeling blue like Al.
That's true. I'm just here for the dad jokes, man. But that's all I really live for. My goddaughter hates it, and I don't care. But gentlemen, we got an interesting topic today. I don't see a reason to waste any time. Should we just get into the clip? I think we probably should.
Yes, sir.
And we'll talk on the other side.
Don't really give pretty women a pass like we used to. We're looking for pretty energy. Like men are willing to forego the pretty face if the energy is right. And we don't want a 8, 9, 10 in the face, but a 2 or 3 in the energy. We're no longer impressed with what you didn't do yourself. I mean, you hit the DNA lottery, but it doesn't have value when there's nothing behind it. There's no character. Pretty gets you in the door. It doesn't keep you in the house.
And there you have it.
Profound. Profound.
Now, you know, these are just some of my initial thoughts. Very quickly, I am not a fan of the energy usage vernacular. My translation, this guy obviously doesn't speak for all mankind, and neither do I. Looks are wonderful. Looks are fantastic. It's the first thing we see. It could pull you in automatically. Women are gorgeous, beautiful. Now, once we're in the proximity of said beautiful women, the interaction and experience sometimes can be a letdown. And that beautiful imagery that we had in our head, when we saw that girl across the room, across the stadium, across the festival event, we're like, wow. And then a few minutes in, we're listening. Something's not quite adding up here. Now, we're not drawing ultimate crazy conclusions, but I think we, as human beings, men and women, we kind of draw mini conclusions, I would say, along the way. And then you ultimately make your ultimate conclusion, and that may determine whether you talk to the person moving forward or not, etc. But those are my quick hits. The energy thing is a little bit too touchy-feely spiritually to me. I don't like using that. My translation is more of the representation of the personality that eventually comes out of a person once you put the time in to get to know them. But I'd love to know your thoughts, Dub. Talk to me.
Cool. First of all, energy. You don't subscribe to energy?
Nah, man, I don't mess with that stuff, man. I just let people say it, and I just be like, I know what you mean, but I'm not regurgitating that language. I'm not doing it.
So if I go to your house right now, I'm not gonna see any stones, any chakras, any sage.
Nah, man.
You don't believe in energy? You can't believe in energy?
You might see some rosemary and some thyme.
Oh,
okay, and some seasoning, some jerk oxtail seasoning, but no sage.
No sage.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-mm. Maybe some Bath and Body Works candles. Right, I racked up on that when on the sale. That's it.
I mean, look, the energy thing. We can just like a lot of other buzzwords. I think sometimes it just kind of there's a word that gets regurgitated, and people grab onto the word, and now they just keep using it and overusing it, and then using it wrong, or then using it in bad faith, like the word narcissism. Let me digress. let me digress.
Please.
Yes, he doesn't speak for all mankind. Neither do I. Neither do we. But yes, on the outside, that is the first thing that is going to physically attract us to women. I mean, men are visual. I mean, this is ABC 123. This is not any new breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
We're visual. We are visual creatures, and what we see, what we like, we are going to go and we're going to go after it.
Indeed.
But as he profoundly said at the end of that, that gets you in the door, but it doesn't keep you in the house. Because listen, on that inside, who wants to put up with a nasty character?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to do that? Now, granted, there are some men who would voluntarily put up with it just to have a pretty woman on their arm at the event.
Shame.
It is a shame. It is a shame. You know, maybe they're not used to getting women that are 8s, 9, and 10s, according to what the guy said on the video. And so they will willingly and voluntarily put up with her nasty character. But men of culture, we're not putting up with that. We don't care. We don't care what you look like. We are not putting up with nasty attitude, nasty character, narcissistic behavior. Because, you know, there's a lot of people who think that narcissism is a male trait and it's a people trait.
It's a human trait. Ladies, you shouldn't put up with it either. Mr. Heil, talk to me.
Jump in here a bit, man. Hey, Jay, you seem to be really focused on the nasty character, man. I like to focus on the empty mind.
Oh.
I can't get to the character, bro, if I can't talk to you. And I feel like too often, man, women they're lashing it out, they wigging it out. There was a scene, man, I wish we had pulled this scene for this show, but it was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Classic.
Classic movie, brother. And he met this lady at this bar, took her home.
Oh,
pretty lady. And by the time she was done, I think she was hopping around, man, on one leg. Even her leg was fake, man. But it's a lot of that going around. I think the common thread in a lot of our conversation comes back to the overwhelming influence of social media, right? So I watch this girl, she looks this way, I got to look like her. But nobody watched the girl that read, you know, nobody watched the girl that watches the documentaries because she's the nerd. But for me, man, what stimulates me the most is the ability to have back and forth conversation that's actually on subject. That's sexy to me.
I love it. You know, Dub kind of brought up elements of character. You brought up, you know, intellectualism or being intellectual. I kind of initially brought up what the experience is like, more broadly what the experience is like. And I would absolutely say it's inclusive of both of the things you guys brought up because, and again, this is a two-way street, but for purposes of this video, there was a male speaking on this, so we're males, so we're just going to share our point of view on it. And it's such a genuine pleasure meeting people where they seem so grounded and content and humble and secure. They not worried about her, them, him. They're not just listening. They're engaging. They're introducing new ideas while you're introducing new ideas. And it is fantastic. And they pretty. Ooh, wait.
Oh.
Wait. Because, it's been said, girls are raised often with the Disney movie kind of impression that's how life is, and there's going to be a prince that's going to come save you and take you away on the white horse. As a 40-year-old man, which I am 40 today, not today, but as of today, beautiful woman that I have a lovely experience with, speaking to, observing amazing character and integrity, with habits that are honorable, with an intellect that pushes mine. Ooh, boy.
Bro, nothing like it, man.
I'm thinking we need to get married now.
Now.
I am now the Disney, I have the Disney princess mindset where I'm like, oh, this is it. This needs to happen now. Okay?
Listen, man, I want to cut you
right
off.
now. Not now, but right now.
Right now. I met a
You're
girl
not
recently.
talking to anybody else. It's over.
Hey, that's right. Cut them all off. Cut off all your hoes.
Yeah.
All your hoes. Go ahead.
Hey.
No, like I met a girl recently, man, and like she wanted to go to the museum, dog. And I was like, how many girls do you meet that don't give you a list of the restaurants they don't want to go to? But this one wants to go to a museum. And I was like, that was so hot for me. At that point, she could have named any restaurant anywhere, and I would have found a way to make the money for it.
You know got it.
That was it, bro.
Seafood towers, you got it.
Like, come on, man. Come on. We'd have walked out of there with a mortgage. We'd have walked out there. You know what I mean? But just the fact that, I'm not coming to you with like, what is it, demands, what you can and can't do in terms of where we can and can't go. Like, that's a thing now, man. Like, I see women who won't even go on dates until you pay for the dress they're supposed to wear, the makeup, the nails. That's just a thing now. And this obviously gives them some type of esteem, but I'm not doing it. I think I've said it before. Nah, you come as you are and we go out. Let's chop it up. Let's do it.
Look, the Lord has blessed me to not encounter somebody talking about cash at me a Hondo real quick so I can do such and such. And I don't really know them like that. Because I've given money like whatever, like once we had a rhythm and like I'm just a generous person like that. But on that early, you talking about a cash at me a Hondo? Whew, I'm so glad that hasn't happened to me. And I've seen multiple women say that they do this on a regular basis. So I'm not making this up. I've seen them say this unapologetically. Nah, send me that. What? No, I'm not sending you that. No.
Hey, you're about to get some requests on this, man. Give me a cash app.
Yeah, and why are they doing that? We know the answer to that, right? We've discussed this before. Why are they doing that? They're doing that for a reason. Quack, quack.
Duck test.
There are ducks that are... Okay, but listen.
Come on,
jump
man.
out this chair.
It's a duck test.
As long as the ducks are feeding this behavior, there's no reason for them to stop the behavior.
It's a fact.
It's on us. It's really
fact,
on us.
bro.
It's the ducks that don't have nothing else to offer but dropping money in cash apps. And that's all they can do in order to, I mean, they can't talk. They can't have a decent conversation. They don't take care of themselves. So
I'm good. Hey, if you think I'm the mark, I'm not the mark.
Or no.
The mark is over there somewhere. It ain't me.
Listen.
There will not be an email or a text saying, "Oh, Dino has sent you a Hondo."
Well, Al mentioned the museum, right? And the empty mind.
Sound like you're selling something. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, listen. Don't turn this.
Hey, I'm not buying. Hey. This sound like an undercover sting. Is this you police? Hey, I'm good. I'm just here for old fashioned. I don't want no problems. I'm straight. Go ahead, Dub. I'm sorry.
Nah, man, it's good. Listen, we could turn this pod if you want to turn this pod. I'm feeling kind of froggy. But if you want to jump, we can jump now. We can jump. But
we're talking about pretty energy today. We like pretty energy.
Pretty energy. Look, that inside matters. Of course, initially, it's the outside. We just went over this.
Right.
That inside, and then again, in here. By the way, sorry. In here.
Get that out of here, man. Try to say that.
In here, but also in here, like Al said. Empty mind. Dude, let me tell you something. I met someone recently who I would put in that 8, 9, 10 range.
Okay.
In the face. But guess what? that energy is that 8, 9, 10 too.
Ooh.
And just talking on the phone. Listen, I don't want to tell you how long these phone conversations are going, because I know how we get. I know how we get in the group chat.
Yo.
And when
Hey,
she was all on you.
Listen, I don't want y'all throwing toilet tissue, Charmin, soft memes on me in the group chat.
Now, from the phone to the meetup, was it that same or similar type of continuity, that same rhythm? Was it there?
It's the same, man. It's the same. I'm telling you, like the energy inside and out matches. So far, they match.
You know what I find about this? I'm just using the word energy for purposes of this discussion. I don't normally use it in my communication with human beings. But you want to know the thing about energy? The energy is inward, but it manifests itself outward. Very, very quickly, very frequently. Meaning, or for example, folks that are truly, and everyone's a work in progress. We're not talking about perfect people. I am not perfect. My brothers are not perfect. No one walking this earth is perfect. However, going back to the inward manifesting itself outwardly, that content, secure, humble, healthy, easygoing person that has it in them, you see it. You see it how they talk to you, how they talk to their friends, their coworkers, if that situation ever happens, the waiter, the waitress, the bartender, you see it. So although they're pretty, they're gorgeous, they got everything is immaculate, that inner comes out and it shows itself. It'll show itself in many different ways. We can choose to acknowledge it. We can choose to ignore it. When we ignore it, we should already know what's about to happen. You played yourself. Okay? When you acknowledge it, I mean acknowledging the good things in it, for instance, you could truly see like it really come together. They're not just someone that could put together an outfit. We love that you could put together an outfit. We love that the hair is fantastic. We love that you smile. I like a smiler. Smile. You know, you happy to be here? Smile. But what gets even better is when the inner starts manifesting itself outwardly, and you hear the thoughts, you hear the mindset. I'm a big mindset person. How you approach the day, how you approach conflict, difficulty, how you approach emotional times in your life. What's the mindset? All that stuff tends to come out. And when it comes out and it's measured and thought through, my oh my, what a beautiful sight. It's like good food. It's like good food. You still taste it after you leave. You're like, boy, that was a good meal. Good. Seasoned good. Deep seasoned, marinated, overnight in the fridge.
Wait, is that the only thing you keep tasting after you finish eating it?
Whoa. Wait, we're a family show. Hold on, man. What are you doing?
What you talking about? I was talking about McDonald's hamburger.
Oxtails. Yeah, oxtail. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the oxtail with the H in the front.
With the beans.
With the butter beans.
So let me ask y'all this. Right? So y'all know pretty face is subjective.
Yeah.
Right? You know, a pretty face is subjective. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Do you think that pretty energy is also subjective? Or is it just certain things that across the board wouldn't be considered pretty energy from the inside? Or do you think that can be subjective as well? Like would you is your threshold going to be the same as other thresholds as far as dealing with the inside?
No. I mean, it's the same as the beauty, man. It's like what I like, you're not going to like. What you like, I'm probably going to, say, hey, I probably change that about thing. But I think to a degree, the level, while it may not reach your threshold, there's still some kind of elevated response you're seeking. Like if she's just laying on the floor flat, like nah, that's just go. I got rugs. I don't need you. You know, so I think at some point she she got a lift. And you have to feel like, okay, I come home from work, I'm down. Both of us can't be down. Somebody's got to be able to lift somebody up. So you want that kind of that response. I'm coming home to something. I'm looking forward to coming home. I'm looking forward to going out, whatever the case might be. Like, look at you. You're looking forward to being on the phone, bro. Like you're a teenager. You know what I mean? And you're hanging out. You don't care about coming off. You get to the end, you hang up. Nah, you hang up. Nah, you hang up. I mean, I don't know if that's what's happening with you, but I'm just thinking, you know, your phone calls. You mentioned the phone call. So
I did.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, like we want something, we both male and female, or someone who is going to offer us something we don't have. If I'm down, the last thing I need is another down person. I need somebody who's going to, you know, be a little bit active, move, and get me up. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, because how disappointed would it be, man? How disappointed would it be to just, gosh, I mean, so beautiful in the face. And you take her out to that seafood tower you just mentioned, Dean.
Mm-hmm.
And she treats the waiters and the waitresses like trash.
But here's the thing, though. If I can pause you real quick.
Yeah.
Don't lose your thought. But remember, she doesn't get to the tower until she's been validated or vindicated, right? So I don't think everyone gets to the tower. You know, she might get to the snappers, a cup of fried shrimp and a cup, you know, fries. but for her to get to the tower, bro, she has to bring it. You know what I mean? You got to see it. If you bring her to the tower, man, like you're excommunicated, bro. Like, nah, we just not doing you no more.
Off rip. Nah.
That's I mean, that's definitely not an off rip. So let's backtrack.
Quack. Yeah.
Quack. There it is. But let's backtrack. Well, let's say you take her to Applebee's or Chili's.
All right.
And she treats the wait staff like trash. Every time a plate hits the table, she sends it back. She's complaining every 5 minutes. Doesn't tip well. I'm sorry. On the dates that she's paying for. Go see episode 2 of the pod. Episode 2, season 2. On a, you know, doesn't tip well. Just an overall just nasty person. It's so disappointing. And I think that because they benefit from pretty privilege, I think that's where some of those nasty attitudes come from. And I think what that guy was just saying is, look, we're not putting up with that stuff anymore. You know, we're just not, we're not dealing with that because guess what? At some point, the beauty might fade. And then what you left with? A nasty attitude?
But the problem is, bro, we're back to the quack mentality. There's somebody who's going to put up with it just because they got a pretty face. And until we all set a standard, we're gonna always have this conversation. I know for me personally, my standards don't change, bro. Like for me to get you in the door, out the door, in the car, to the restaurant, to the museum, it's gonna require some level that's gonna inspire, influence, motivate me for me to take you out. So that's just my real. It's my 100.
Yeah, you know, Coach Tomlin said the standard is the standard. You know, he's a big quote guy, and he's very firm and he's stern and he's dug in. And you know, some people just say it's just a bunch of coach talk. Well, you know, once you really sit with some of that stuff, you really appreciate what it means. Because first and foremost, I do believe you have to love yourself very firmly, very largely, very consistently. Loving yourself, I believe, means you're not allowing someone that's coming in to your life who has a very beautiful veneer and exterior, act all crazy and exhibit habits, practices, characteristics that's not in line with what you believe they should be. Because, and I've heard the Fair Sex say this, that they have been in instances where the guy is so handsome, I was letting him get away with X, Y, and Z, letting him say X, Y, and Z. And I'd be like, dang, That's really an accountability moment for me when I hear that, because I want to conduct myself a certain way. I want to love myself, number one. Secondly, I don't want to take advantage of anybody, especially in that manner. That's like awful. But going back to my initial point, you can get lost in the beauty. You know what I'm saying? That the hair is flowing. She smells good. She blinks good. She smiles good. She's your favorite complexion. You know who I'm talking about. She's your favorite complexion. And everything is in the right place. It's just right. Everything is just right. It's easy to get lost in that. And then again, you're throwing on the blinders and you're ignoring the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. Hopefully it doesn't get that high. That's a lot of stuff. The multiple of things that are just not in line with the standard. But man, that is the road to destruction. Because if you just ignore it now, it's not magically going to get better. It's just not. It's going to get incrementally worse. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have room for grace. Maybe somebody, says a thing and maybe they apologize or whatever the case may be. We're not saying, again, perfection is not the objective here. I think we're more so looking at, like Dub said, this privilege which exists. I think reasonable people will say that good-looking men or objectively good-looking men or women have advantages in society. They just do. Okay? So let's not get PC and weird about that. In the case of, since we're all men here, one can get lost in this beautiful exterior and miss on the things of substance, miss on the things that really matter in the long run, because beauty is fleeting. Now, obviously, we love people that take care of themselves. We're going to take care of ourselves and do the things and have certain standards and hygiene and all that stuff. We appreciate it. But y'all, it cannot be an excuse or a bridge to treat people nasty, to talk to people a certain way, to dress people down, to have body language that basically displays not the best character. That ain't it. Standards, man.
I kind of feel like at some point, and this pod may be the least controversial in this sense. I can't see a reasonable woman watching this pod, right, and having a problem with, like, even the example that Dub brought up. I'm out with you. We're out to have a good time, and you just want to be nasty to somebody you don't know, who's just out trying to make a living to support your family. For me, Dub, just to respond to that, man, I don't think I would get to the second plate. I think after the first or two instances, I'm up. I'm like, let's go, taking you home, we're done. Because I just think that's not a person who's going to uplift my character. It's not going to make me feel good. It's not somebody I want to come home to. If that's your first impression to somebody you don't know, at some point, that's in you and it's going to come out. To me, to my brothers, to whomever. And I'm not sure that that's a person. I don't care if you're a 12. I don't think that's a person that I want around me. Because I think from a sustainability standpoint, you want somebody, if you choose to be with that person for the next 10, 15, 20, forever years, what am I putting up with that for? How do I excuse that at any given point? Why would I want to excuse that? Because if we're not growing together, what's the point? Anything you have in your garden, if you go outside and it's no longer growing, you're going to dump it out and try again. So the minute this dies, I'm done. And when you do that, it's just, ew, it's nasty, man. I'm more offended for me being there with you. Just the whole situation, it's just nasty, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Dean mentioned mindset too. Just mindset
big.
on, listen, when you're having phone conversations that are extended or in person, you're talking, you're getting to know this person, and hopefully, you're having conversations that are beyond surface level. At this stage of the game, is it nice to know her favorite color and her favorite foods and, her shoe size and stuff as you try to plan stuff to buy for her? I mean, sure. But at this point, there should be a lot more deeper conversations happening. And in those conversations, you get to figure out the mindset. And, there's questions like, I know this whole, what do you bring to the table? Like me personally, I've never asked a woman, what do you bring to the table? Because you know what? If your conversations are deep enough, that stuff, you're going to learn that stuff as you are talking to her.
If you got to ask, it's not going well.
Right. Like, so
well.
you don't have to flat out ask that question like in that way. If you're having the right conversations, you are going to determine for yourself based on how she's answering, what she brings to the table. So those deeper conversations are going to bring out that mindset, and it's going to make you well aware if that energy inside, that pretty energy, if it's a 2 or 3, or if it's an 8, 9, or a 10. I'll tell you this, as someone speaking as a 5 myself, I'm a 5 at best. I consider myself a very average looking man, so I give myself a 5. I think there are a lot of men who would, if they're looking for a lifelong partner, which is the key, if they're looking for wifey, not recreation, I think there are a lot of men who would prefer a 5 with 10 energy versus a 10 with 5 energy. But a lot of this is going to fall on deaf ears, what we're seeing here and what that guy said in the video. You know why? Because the 8, 9, and 10s aesthetically are always going to be able to find somebody to put up with their mess. They're always going to be able to find it because a lot of us are suckers. That's it.
And the more it's accepted, the more it continues, the more perpetuates. It continues on.
It continues on because a lot of it is us, fellas. Not these 3 right here. Not these 3. But man, if we can somehow just limit or contain the duck and simp epidemic out here, we might start seeing a change.
Right.
But it's just too many of us.
One thing about this epidemic, which season 1 about the duck epidemic, is that we don't have to wait on the White House or any pharmaceutical company for the vaccine. You can actually cure yourself. You already got the antibodies. I don't know where I'm going with this.
The B flat chord about to hit.
You could actually change, but you got to change your mind. You have to, and I'll say it until Jesus comes. You got to love yourself properly. I'm not going to say know your worth and all that stuff. I know why people say that. I'm going to say love yourself. Love who you are in your own skin. Love your smile. Love your personality. Love your clothes. Love your house. Love what you have. Love where you are right now. That doesn't mean you can't aspire for more or any of that stuff. But love who you are today. And the things that you let into your life, let it enhance your life. Let it grow your life. Let it diversify your life in a healthy way. It just can't be good-looking people. Just allowing good-looking people in that don't bring anything else. I'm not saying they're not capable of that. I believe they're all capable of it, but these are choices. Just having good people around is not going to do a whole lot for you. I don't know, unless you're running a fashion magazine or something like that. But putting that aside, it needs to be a love of self. And once you love yourself, not putting up and tolerating with anything that comes along because the person is interested and shows, some type of interest or light infatuation or whatever. Because I believe firmly you love yourself, and a manifestation of that love of oneself is not allowing yourself to get duped into into a situation with another person that's not, as Al said, lifting you up. I should be seeking to lift you up because it's all reciprocal. Everyone's giving, everyone's taking. We've already talked about that a couple times. We're both giving, we're both taking. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're all doing it. Consciously, unconsciously, we're doing it. That's okay. But you could do it in a healthy way. If I'm looking at, let's put it in my, if I'm looking at a woman as an ATM, I'm on the floor. I'm low. I'm moving low. If I'm looking at her, things that I could just purely get from her, I'm super, super low. I should be looking for conversation, intellect, encouragement, support, emotional and otherwise, so on and so forth. Yes, I want you to be beautiful, but the taking that I'm taking should be many, many, many other things other than me just admiring the beautiful face that God gave you. I love that he gave you that face. I love it. And I'm going to be proud of it. Don't get me wrong. But these other intangibles and sometimes intangible things, they got to be there. Or you're playing yourself. Let's do better. I'm trying to do better every day. If I even sense some duck mentality in me, I gotta shake myself loose of that and let the antibodies take hold and get that out my system right away, because it's curable, y'all. But you gotta want to.
Hey, you better.
It's curable.
Hey, and trust, your boy is gonna let you know, bro, that was duckish.
Duck behavior.
We're gonna let you know.
Listen, that's what real friends do. That's what real friends call each other out. And because that helps, listen, iron sharpens iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to, we've talked about this before, where friends have been dismissed from friendship groups for being too negative when all that friend was doing was just telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, if we see some duck mentality and we see some duck behavior, because guess what? At some point in time, we all did something duckish.
Absolutely.
We all did something duckish,
Of course.
But it did not become who we are, or, it did not become ingrained. It was a one-off. Everybody can get got, I mean, was it Aaron Neville that says everybody plays the fool? Sometimes?
Everybody plays the fool. Hey, we didn't stay in the pond. So the ducks stay in the pond.
Uh-oh.
We got out the pond.
Choices. Choices.
Can we say that one more time? One more time for the people in the back.
We did not stay in the pond. We were happy for the accountability of our partners, and we got out the pond. So if you stay in the pond, duck.
Stop staying in the pond, man. I mean, stop letting pretty faces have you around here doing dumb stuff and putting up with dumb stuff. Now I'm getting passionate again, because there's so many of my brothers who are just voluntarily just putting up just with the mental strain, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse, just to be able to say, oh man, she bad and she with me.
Nah.
Dude, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
No. The answer is a firm no. The answer is you got to love yourself, man. Love yourself. Maybe you need to be alone for a little bit, because if having someone that's, objectively, I use that word loosely, objectively a 10, is that the only way you're getting joy? Is that the only way you're getting value and validation out of it? I would question how much you love yourself. And if one of my dogs seen how I was moving, if it was in that manner, I need to have the maturity, okay? The maturity to take the input, not throw it right back in their face. Let me take it and digest it a little bit. If they see me moving kind of weird, I need to take the input, live with that, process that a little bit, and like my dog said, leave the pond, because keep people around you that love you, that care about you, that are not, mistreating you and using you and not being a true friend. If you can't take that information from them, why are they around anyway? What is their purpose? Love yourself, man.
Al, one more thing for your analogy. Is it possible they're not leaving the pond because they think that's the only pond that's there.
Well, here's the great thing about water, man. Water tends to find its way through the smallest crevices, right? And it continuously flows. So if you are moving in the pond any at all, you can find the flow of that water and get to the other side. But in order to not be a duck, get out the pond.
Look, unless y'all have anything else to add, I have something I want to add, and then I think we need to get up out of here. As far as why they are just in that pond, you know why? They got comfortable. They thought that was the only pond, and it's wet. It's wet. Use your mind, fellas. Love yourself. And with that, come on now, we got to get better. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Like us, share us, tell a friend, and we'll see you next time.